Like I do every day in my life.
Right, but this one, there's imaginary lives on the line, Brett.
That makes it so much harder.
Sometimes they're more important.
I actually care about these characters. Me.
Right?
Oh gosh.
Well, if that's not the perfect moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
I love it.
Welcome to Curbside Podcast presents Dice Hard with a Vengeance. Your weekly D&D game here on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. It's the new year, everyone. Welcome back from Christmas, from vacation, 2022. It's going to be some very interesting things that could be on the table here for the party. But with that, as always, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tap the little bell on your YouTube app so you never miss an upload. And also, buy the shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/LostBoyKirby. With that, we'll do the oath, and then the DM will take it away. I, Naramus Torn, do solemnly swear to not be a murder hobo. Natil?
I, Natil, do solemnly swear to not be a murderer hobo.
Owen?
I, Owen Schwarzschild, do solemnly swear to obey Lord Hector.
Fair enough. Corrallos?
I, Corrales Abrazar, do solemnly swear to not be a murder hobo.
Mr. Tim, take it away.
All right, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to Athos, the island and home to the Shrine of Athena. I feel like it's kind of important with the new year, with the little gap that we've had over the past few weeks to kind of reset the table for anybody listening and just to reacclimate everybody with where you guys are at. So let's go back upon the hostile takeover of the city of Brine due to an army of undead under the control of the Brotherhood. The party evacuated, fled with refugees from the city of Brine. You found yourself in a brand new city, floating on an island, the city of Sandbar. For all intents and purposes, a pirate's haven. But it did serve as a place for you guys to get some rest, to regroup, and figure out the next stage of your journey. Upon acclimating yourself to the island, the locals, and asking around, you knew that the next step of your journey would lead you to the underworld to find Natil's sister, Isla, who was kidnapped by the Rakshasa, Regus. With her fate pretty much riding it in the balance here, you knew time was of the essence. And upon seeking help for some different gods and different sources, you felt it best to go to the Athos, island that housed the shrine to Athena, goddess of wisdom and knowledge, strategy, battle strategy, and each of you, upon surviving a deadly test to prove yourselves worthy, you each got to ask one question of the Oracle, and each of you getting your own little nugget of something that each of you desired greatly. For Corrallos, whether it was where Shroud was, whether it was where Isla was and what was the easiest way to get to her. Whether for Hector it was who he was. To just end the game of the finding breadcrumbs to remember who he was and just become whole again. Each of you asked your question, you got answers. And where we left off, the party was leaving the shrine. You had just seen Captain Ramsey talking to an unknown entity that vanished before your eyes. and the party was in the rowboat headed back to the Siren's Flame, your vessel and the vessel of Captain Benjamin Ramsey. But that's where we're going to pick up today, you guys. You guys are in a rowboat heading back. And that is the best recap I think that we can do for right now. If anybody has any other questions or things that aren't clear, we can handle that now. Otherwise, we are picking back up in the rowboat, heading back to the ship. The sun is still out, and the only sound you hear is the sound of the oars crashing onto the waves.
Does the boat have just 2 paddles or 4?
Just the 2, and Taruk seems to be handling it by himself.
Okay.
Ramsey appears to be sitting. He's facing towards most of you, but he's just staring at a hole in the bottom of the rowboat. Hector seems to be staring off into space. Very cool.
Bottom of the rowboat, huh?
He's just staring at the bottom of the rowboat. He's staring a hole at the bottom of the rowboat.
Oh, got it.
He's he's zoned. He's zoned out.
Zoned out.
Ramsey's just kind of thinking.
It's not even 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and already we've had quite a day. Is this normal for you lot?
Unfortunately.
Well, luckily I can drink enough to cope with all of this without endangering my liver. So, I guess that's the good news. I take it everybody asked a question and now is feeling very happy that they did, right? No?
I mean, I'm happy with my answers. Now I know how to find the ogre strength gauntlets in the fire giant belt, or the belt. Yeah, I know where I or at least I have an idea where they are. I don't know exactly where they are, but I have an idea, which is more than I had like 5 minutes ago. So I think this has been an amazing trip, you guys.
I will trade anything I have for that man's optimism. Anyone? Anyone? Lord Hector? You faring any better?
I have a useless necklace here. Trade you for it. You can...
Nope, still completely and utterly distraught. So
you do notice as he playfully handed that out, the necklace, the amulet of memory seems to be completely inert, just dead.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh, you tried to touch? Yeah, no.
Yeah, like
you
Torn's
touch it.
poking it.
It clink, clink. There's nothing there. There appears to be no magic remaining.
What does it appear to be made out of?
I'm trying to remember. Because Medea created it in the hut. What did she use? She created it with stuff that was just lying around. It wasn't. It was.
So just like backwoods witch magic materials.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say pop metal for right now because I can't remember what I did. I'm sorry.
That's
yeah,
fine.
she just created it on the spot. There wasn't anything.
It was just an object for her to focus a spell effect into. Basically.
Correct.
It's nothing of value. It's not crystal or particular type of gemstone, a rare wood. It's just something she had on hand.
Yep.
Well, I dare say this is quite useless now. Always hear wise men talk about being burdened with knowledge. Never before have I actually related to such a thing in such a very intimate way. But it appears that we now have direction on where we're going. A very, very happy friend here, pulling the oars with great aplomb. And a rather short list of things we need to take care of in an even shorter amount of time. Is that correct?
Don't forget a list of people to take care of as well. Particularly a group that we ran into very recently.
Well, I dare say I may have found a spark of that optimism that this gentleman has yet. So, as we make our way back, what is our order? Where are we going first? Are we going to secure Shroud, was it?
And Torn nudges Corrales. That's you.
I mean,
Are you
I
stronger
want-
with it?
yes.
Much.
Then yes, we're going to hell. We are going to the underworld. We're going to fight, apparently, some sort of monstrosity in the underworld.
It's a tiger.
And I
demon.
would prefer that all of us be as strong as possible. Does that seem reasonable?
Oh, absolutely. But I don't want to divert just for myself, if that makes sense.
It's not just for you, it's for the party. It's to help us.
I'm going to stay for Nat.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rule that I've been implementing just beyond making people just do intelligence checks all the time. I'll let you roll intel or insight. You can choose.
I'm gonna roll in insight.
All right.
Sorry, my. Ooh. Oh, that's all right. An 8.
What?
Yes, Nat has rolled her lowest low.
No. No. Say it again, louder and with confidence. What did you roll?
Rolled an 8.
You rolled a single digit, did you?
2022 is already doomed.
It only took 2 years, but you rolled a single digit.
I rolled a single digit.
Okay, well. This bodes well. The Kraken will come for us.
I hope you know we're all doomed. Like,
Water's
Oh,
getting
all
you
doomed.
knew I was gonna make a big deal out of that the day it happened. I don't know. With that roll, Nat, you think? I mean, Isla's lasted this long. You guys have time.
I know Isla's, I know she's a fighter, so whatever, if we gotta go get, since we're going there, might as well get Shroud too while we're at it.
Well, I mean, can we go to one of the islands then? Because I could really use that belt of fire giant strength. I mean, if we're putting in requests for things to make us stronger before we go to Tartarus, I'm just saying.
I feel like this is
Big guy,
cascading
eat a
out of
pie,
control.
calm down. We'll see what we gotta do.
You feel the as the dinghy kind of saddles up beside the siren's flame. You see as the ropes are starting to get tied off for them to pull up the dinghy.
we also got to remember that that group also has a bag that holds a lot of things in it that could come in handy.
That would come in a lot of handy.
That's true too.
Are they on the way?
Say, you might have to ask that
Same
one.
way, no?
What I've been able to piece together using this information, what I saw in the bar at this
Mhm.
point. Okay.
Oh no! Well, no, I was listening. What were you
Yeah.
asking?
would I be able? Would Owen understand? Having seen it and and now understanding what Corrales is looking for and how important it is, and the context clues from the information he was given, would Owen be able to infer that? Should I roll something, or is that just outside of my grasp?
I think you understand the basics, but I want you to roll insight, and I'm going to tell you how much you get.
Okay. All right. And that's going to be 16 plus insight plus 4, so a soft 20.
Yeah, you put it together, especially after seeing him ask about it. It was important enough to use his one question at the Oracle of Athena. From the magic and the things that you remember and that you picked up in the bar, it just simply struck you as a powerful magic item that somebody was wearing. Mm-hmm. And it didn't really mean anything to you then. Putting one and one together, and just from you overhearing his question, yeah, you get that it's fairly important. You may not understand fully how powerful an object it is, but you get that
that's the object he's looking for.
That is definitely the object he's looking for. It is powerful, and they've said that it will definitely make Corrales more effective to the party.
All right, so we just have to find that poor abused child and abuse him a little bit more, take his outfit, and then we're good to go. Seems reasonable.
I would much rather just abuse the people around him. I don't think the kid did anything wrong.
If he's got the item, then he's the one that we need to... If what we need is that item, then that's what we do. But picking a fight with an entire battalion of people simply because one soldier has done us wrong seems inefficient.
But see, as the deckhands are pulling the ropes that are basically, you guys are slowly going up a few feet at a time as the dinghy's being raised up. As that's happening, Hector, kind of, who's been staring off, he goes, I've been thinking about that. Do you think that even he understands what he has?
I mean, Corrales, you're the expert.
He might.
I mean, you could do some pretty cool things with that. I mean, do you think he's learned to use it the same way?
I hope not. It depends on how long and how.
The dinghy is raised to the main deck of the boat. You guys find yourself back on the Siren's Flame.
Well, it was eventful.
Almost as if being woken from a nap, Ramsey goes into... All right, gents. Heave to. I want as far away from this island as possible. Pick a damn direction until I give you a course. And he just heads down to the next level.
I don't think he took his news very well.
Yeah, but who was that?
Not a clue.
Problems for later. Seems as if we have enough on our plates as it is.
This is true.
Lord Hector, unless you have need of me, I'd retire for a while. I'm quite exhausted and rather injured from our little adventure.
You do what you need to do, Owen.
By your leave, no one will head down.
Just a...
Yep, just
deuces.
head down and just collapse.
Torn very very nonchalantly steps over him.
I would have gone to my bunk.
Oh, you went to, dude, I swear I thought you just dropped
Yep,
on the,
just-
the main
I'm gonna
deck.
take. Well, Torrin's done it before. I'm tired. Punk.
Oh no, sunburn is a thing. Just 'cause
Okay,
it takes a
okay,
while
you
to
just
recover.
gotta- Just kind of like
I
do
go
one of
down to
these
my-
numbers back here. Yeah.
I'm all prim and proper, head down to my bunk, and then Family Guy fall into it, all just disoriented.
Got it. Hector kind of looks at you guys and he goes, I'm going to stay up here. And he goes to the back of the ship, like behind the captain's wheel, and he just is looking out off the back.
Before he steps off, Torrin's gonna put like a hand on his shoulders. But if you need anything, let us know.
Thanks. He just keeps going. I'm gonna go help out. I think that, they're kind of short a few people, so I'm gonna go help them out.
All right, Taruk.
Let me know when we decide what we're doing, because that fire giant belt really means a lot to me. I'm just saying.
All right, Taruk. We'll let you know.
Okay. Did you guys know there's a safety line over here? That leaves the three of you.
I think I'm gonna go below decks and rest also. I'm beat up from the traps.
Was a rough day for you and those traps.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hurt. Yeah, I'm heading below.
But the gelatin mage hand did make it worth it, though. But I got you. All right, Corrales goes back below deck to get rest. That leaves the two of you.
I think I'm gonna stay above ground. Need to enjoy some more of the sunlight for a little while.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna kind of go, just look over the side of the ship and just kind of just get lost in a thought.
Okay.
Kind of ponder my own plan.
Okay. So I'll say that Nat is found a spot on a barrel and is just peering over the port side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So, Torrin, seeing Nat walk off, is gonna be like, and keep his comments to himself, and he's gonna go find Captain Ramsey.
Okay. As you approach the captain quarters, all you hear behind the door is just the sound of just yelling from behind.
Okay. Torrin with like one hand on Clawbasher and the other like about to knock. Not sure.
Now you hear, or as you raise your head to knock, you hear from the other side a muffled boom, 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 boom.
Screw this.
And
Torrin's gonna kind of.
You see the door is kind of rattling with each impact.
Torrin not gonna quite open the door. He's gonna give it a good shake. Be like, Captain, are you okay in there?
You see as the door opens out, and you just see as he's like apparently just at the door, with his head down. You see a really huge red spot on his forehead, where obviously he has just been pounding his head on the door for the past few moments.
Had that look more than once, Captain.
May I help you?
Well, I had a few questions, and then I heard heard a commotion. I was worried I was about to have to kick your door in.
No, please, come in. You get, not gonna even make you roll for that. Alcohol is on the breath.
Well,
And as you follow him in, you see as he has pretty much trashed his own quarters. Just
I have
overturned table, and he sits in a chair where it would be, and he just kind of and it kind of slides down, and now he's just kind of sitting in the floor, half on the chair, half not. Please have a seat.
Torn's gonna find a chair and just.
Yeah. Yeah, you're basically now you're looking down on him as he's just kind of slumped.
Well,
How can I help you?
I had a bunch of questions, and now those questions are a little bit more justified. What is wrong, Captain? What in the name of Bahamut is going on?
Master Dragonborn,
Yes.
have you ever been married?
No. Not to my
Well-
knowledge.
Well, the gods have blessed you then. Because I am. And I can't get out. He is downing some rum very quickly.
And Torn's gonna pull it back just a little so that it's not straight up.
You see, he's almost like an infant. He's trying to follow the bottle.
Maybe just go a little slower. You don't have to stop on my account. Just a little slower, Captain. Do you want to explain what do you mean? Because it seems like, you know, at least from what marriages I've seen, they've been happy and they don't cause this much damage.
He tries to get up for a second, but misses where he needs to, lean up against, and he just does one of those numbers, back down, and tries to play it off like that's what he meant to do. I can. I was not completely coming forth with my reason for going to the shrine. He's now trying to. It's sad. He's trying to gather all of his decorum and demeanor as if he's not completely sloshed.
Right. We've all been there.
Master Dragonbone, without giving you all of the unfortunate details,
Mm-hmm.
there are many who fear the gods.
Right.
There are some who offer sacrifices to those gods.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the storybooks would have you believe, and he tries to grab the bottle from you. It's I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. It's like
just like out of reach.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah. And sometimes the storybooks, legends would tell you
Mm-hmm.
that those sacrifices are usually, blood on an altar,
Right.
and that appeases that deity.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, only sometimes, sir, the sacrifice is kept.
Okay.
Because the deity is pleased with it, sees it as something that he or she can use.
Okay.
Mortality and time being a funny thing for a deity, all she has to do is be patient.
Mhm.
When that sacrifice has grown to full measure, she can use it for what she wishes.
Okay.
And only in certain rare cases, they can decide to take it as a partner.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's what happened to me, sir.
Uh-huh.
Just saying it happens.
I would love to roll an insight on that.
Yeah, roll insight.
Throw my soul from my unconscious body to.
That's a dirty 20.
It's certainly customs that Dragonborn are not accustomed to, but he does not appear to be lying. And through the drunken stupor, what you gather he's telling you is basically he was offered up as a sacrifice as probably an infant, as a kid.
I'm saying he goes, that didn't happen to me. Torn doesn't believe that.
Oh, yeah. He's lying about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the rest of it, Torn understands.
Yeah. It would be customs that you would never you'd even heard of,
Mhm.
not even among the humans that you've come across. That's a little different.
Right.
But then again, with that role and your insight, you can tell this isn't the normal deity. That this is different. This is this probably goes in the realm of cults that I am not familiar with, and it's not. Yeah.
Got it.
You've certainly never heard of anything like this, but basically, yeah, what he's telling you is that he was offered up as a infant for sacrifice, and instead of it being like we're gonna kill the baby, is
mine.
The deity went mine, and I'm going to use it for whatever I want.
Mm.
And in this weird case, it appears that she waited for him to become a man and took him as a husband.
Torn is
Hell of a
also
dowry.
very just.
Remember those last 20 years? You're welcome. Honeymoon time. That's really cool.
This is a character. A little meta. This was a character I wanted to play, but DM.
They all are.
Torrin himself is going to take a very heavy swig of the rum. Just that is quite the tale, Captain. There we go. That's better. So
I wanted out. I wanted divorce. And he's kind of like getting a little closer to you. Just kind of, I wanted a divorce.
Right. Understandable. Every man needs his freedom.
Right?
So, I guess that was your question, is how to get out? Without,
Was it?
That's what it sounded like.
Well, sounds like something I would ask. Yeah. Yes, it was. Of course it was.
Well,
You don't know what it's like. I didn't have any say. And he just stares at you very uncomfortably.
Right. Torrance like whole demeanor changes from semi-entertained to the from the absolute drunkenness to more remorse and solemn.
You see a sad, sober moment. You don't see the drunk right now. He doesn't appear to be drunk. He just appears to be like, no, I can't drink enough to get through this.
Captain, I'm not going to pretend I know what you're going through. But I will tell you that sometimes when forces outside your control decide to royally screw up your life, sometimes you don't want the guilt of thinking you could have stopped it. But I can't speak for my friends. But if there is anything we can do to help, at least ask.
I was hoping we'd get around to that. He grabs a bottle and starts pouring, and it's already starting to overflow the glass that he's got. I need you to help me kill a god.
Torn once again pulls the rum bottle up. That might be a little out of my realm, Captain. I'm all for a good fight, but fighting a literal god? I don't think I'm equipped for that. And I don't think...
Kind of stumbles up for a second, finally finding feet. And you see as he tries to look like he's being really conspiratorial, and he gets real close and he goes, I have a plan. He kind of puts his finger to his eye like this. I have a plan.
Okay.
You may not be equipped for it. I might not be equipped for it. Just looking. We can kill her together. I just need to think.
You and do that, Captain. And Torrin's gonna very slowly walk out. He's gonna take both bottles with him and very quietly shut the door as not to disturb Captain Ramsey. Good Lord. How in the hell do you even kill a god? These are questions for later. At least I tried. Oh, you bastard. And...
Yes, Torrin?
Torrin is gonna head up on deck and just kind of like reflect on everything that just happened, rubbing his head, corking one of the bottles and taking the other one with him.
Okay.
Just be like, I don't think I can drink enough to understand what in the world is going on there.
As Torrin sits down and begins to attack his bottle, I'm gonna join him, as a matter of fact.
Okay. All right. Torin, as you find a suitable place to kind of sit and mull through some of your thoughts, Nat, a few minutes later, Nat comes up and joins you.
Torin's gonna move the bottle closer to her. Hello there.
What are you trying to drown?
Not so much drown as I am just trying to, I guess, loosen my brain muscles up, because that captain is he's in a bit of a predicament, a tight spot, if you will.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, damn, he is in a tight spot.
What? Captain?
Your DM will remember this. Continue.
All right, I got him on that one. Continue.
That was
Matt.
good. I'm guessing you're talking about our good friend, the captain.
I am, in fact.
Is he all right? Only because I don't think any of us were expecting that.
I don't know if all right is quite the term I would use, to be blatantly honest with you. He is having a rough go of it. Apparently, he is, how to put this very bluntly and not spill the captain's poor business all over the ship.
Roll perception. Either one of you, or both of you. Doesn't matter to me.
I rolled a 6.
Looks clear.
He is in a partnership in which he cannot leave, no matter how bad he wants to.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like marriage.
Mm-hmm. So, he is trying to find a way.
Well, if he's not happy, I can understand. Although I would think it would be a little bit harder than necessary to end a one-sided relationship with a god.
I don't know, but he's not taking his news from the island very well. Not at all.
I cannot say I'm entirely surprised that I could smell the alcohol coming up here.
It was bad.
But
it was like you versus Taruk bad.
That is bad.
And he was Taruk.
Ooh, that's really bad.
So.
Well, as long as he didn't suggest anything too drastic at the moment. Right?
Suggest? Maybe. Did I agree to? Hell no. Got enough people pissed off at me right now. A lot of them wear
Yeah.
those fancy black cloaks.
There's that. And you don't want anything with an ungodly amount of power angry at you either.
Mm-mm. Nope.
So, speaking of anger, I just gotta ask, more out of curiosity than anything. Where have you been avoiding me?
I don't feel like I've been avoiding you. I think.
I'm gonna insight.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me insight.
All right. Okay, Piper, I will hold your hand. Sorry, my dog's getting jealous. Okay. Oh, Pity, do you want to roll insight? Do you want to roll an insight? I didn't think so. Six. What?
What?
Tim's in shock.
I can tell.
Twice in one game? Twice in one
Not
game?
my night. It's not my night.
That's better.
Roll a D100. I just want to know something.
Roll a D100? Okay. Wait, you said her or me?
Her, not
Oh.
you.
Hang on, let me. Stupid question. Where the hell would I find a D100? Okay, never mind. Found it.
There you go.
Give me a minute. $11. I'm having.
You all feel the cosmos realign slightly. Like there's a fabric in time and space that just feels off. And you all, even if you're asleep, you collectively wake up for a moment and you feel like something's not right. Oh well. You go back to sleep. Anyway, he seems to be telling the truth. He hasn't really been avoiding you. Really, that still falls on Cam. Have you been avoiding her, and are you trying to deceive her?
No, not really. I don't think Torin. He may have done it inadvertently, but he isn't trying to deceive her.
It wasn't purposely.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm not going to make you roll deception on that. Yeah. No, Nat, it appears to be he's just been Torin.
That's the best way to describe that one right there.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Good.
I don't. I'm sorry if it feels that way. I don't know. I think I've been scooped up in this whole Sandbar Islands and gods and in just everything.
Yeah,
Go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say I know we've been through a lot. I mean, I just didn't know if I had done something wrong or.
No, definitely not. Trust me, Nat. If there was something wrong between the two of us, I wouldn't be traveling to hell. No matter which highway we're taking.
You guys notice as the stars are starting to come out.
Pretty.
Very. But if I can put you at ease, I don't know how much this means, but I wouldn't just travel to the literal pits of Tartarus for anybody.
That actually does help.
And I have every intention of helping you find Isla. And I would say outside of me dying, nothing's gonna stop me.
No, we're not gonna let that happen.
Well, that might be step one to the plan. That's the only reason I don't say that. Which we really need to figure out what in the world we're doing.
Well, according to what we found out down in the pit, we're gonna have to do the deed.
Yeah. It's either travel to the islands and let you said Hades wouldn't appreciate if we snuck in. Right?
Exactly.
So it's either we travel to the islands and we sneak in and we piss off the literal god of the underworld, or die.
Roll insight. Yeah, no, just to make sure things are well understood. Both of you roll insight.
Okay. Okay, Piper, I will hold your hand.
That is... Ooh. That's a 19.
19.
I'm back, baby. Dirty 20.
There you go.
Yeah, there she is.
Between the two of you, thinking about it, you have Persephone's permission to go to Tartarus. And the quickest way to go through her method was you have to die. From what you gather, as far as this way may be through that Athena's oracle mentioned, that is another way to go. You're not going to anger Hades or Persephone by taking that route. Your gut tells you that if you went back to the sandbar to find out how the hero of the legend snuck in, that might tick off Hades and Persephone. From what you gather, the Athena method of activating these shrines on these different islands just appears to be another way to go.
Okay.
It would definitely, for anyone in the party who wasn't crazy about the idea of dying, it's a way to go. It would take longer. And that's just what you guys needed to decide amongst yourselves. Continue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DM.
Because just to be clear, there's technically 3 options.
There are.
Persephone, Athena, and then sneak in.
Yeah.
Well, I really, as a player and as Torin, do not like option 3.
No.
Option 3, no bueno.
Option 3, definitely no bueno.
But...
And...
So, Nat, you said... Persephone said... that she would bring us back if we killed that damn tiger.
Persephone said if we get rid of the tiger, she would bring us back. I am prepared to go get there the fastest way possible, but I know that everyone else in the party has to be on board, so it's gonna have to come down to a vote. Whatever way the majority is gonna vote, whether or not I like it, I'm gonna respect it.
Well. Tim, do I notice that her bow is all decked out by Persephone now?
Just with your insight rolls up to this point, you do notice that the wood on it has kind of faded to a gray, and that there's now, instead of resting the arrow on the side of the actual bow like you would normally do, there's actually a slot for it in the shape of a skull that's
Right.
opened up. So
Right.
yes, you do notice the modifications in the bow itself.
Well, two things, Nat. First off, whatever you decide, I'm gonna support. And if that decked out bow there has anything to do with it, it seems like someone may actually keep their word if we end up choosing her option. Just makes me a little more comfortable, for lack of a better term, with said option. Doesn't seem like she's gonna try to, trick us and throw us in another dimension and, poison our ale. Twice. God, I gotta stop drinking.
Yes, I'm going to agree with that. No, I don't think she would have any reason to lie to us, especially if we're going to be helping. So, and like I said, when it comes to Isla, I'm going to go the fastest route I can to get to her. But again, it's all based on majority.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, no one else is probably going to be comfortable enough to slit their own throat.
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
Hey, quick.
Yeah. But if it helps, I'm definitely gonna be right there with you no matter what you decide.
Nat just kind of leans over and puts her head on Torrin's shoulder as she nods. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys see off the side of the ship, there's with your insight rolls, perception, off the side of the ship you see as it appears to be a few dolphins that are breaching the surface and jumping through.
How pretty. Like,
Extremely.
you never see dolphins out like this dark. So, now I just gotta ask, just kind of change the subject for a minute.
Okay.
Knowing now what you know about his idea of marriage, does it sour you on the idea of ever doing it?
I don't think every marriage is like his, so I'm gonna say no.
You hope not, man.
But if my parents were, for what I saw, happily married, I wouldn't mind something like that one day. If it's anything like the poor captain's, though, yeah, I'll be a lonely dragonborn the rest of my life.
Agreed. Yeah, from what I saw too, like my parents were very happy. But I have a backup plan. If it doesn't work out, I'll just go work with the madam at the light.
That's ironic.
How so?
Because I was totally gonna go back to Brian and work for Isma.
Oh, there we go.
She doesn't like the word, but I'm basically the closest thing to an apprentice she has right now.
I swear you hear a groan out there
just
in
in the middle of the ocean, just.
I think
Could have
somewhere
been
you
the
just
sound
need
of the
somebody-
dolphins on the side of the ship too. You're just like,
That is a gruff sounding dolphin. That's weird.
That was a very gruff sounding dolphin. I wonder if it got a
Yeah.
fish stuck in its throat or something.
But no, I feel like I would go back and keep learning from her, and maybe one day take her spot as she grows. I don't want to say too old to adventure, because she'd kill me if she ever heard me say that. But one day when she gets bored and tired of putting up with everyone else in the city, maybe I'll take over her spot. She can go be angry somewhere else.
And you know, probably as well as I do, it's not going to happen. As much piss and vinegar as Isma has, I think it's about as much as the Madam has. Which means they're never going to retire. And somehow I'm okay with that. If it... I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have a little shop.
Right? We can sell Taruk's pies.
There we go. We would have a never-ending supply of pies. Because there's not really a lot of bake shops.
Sadly, no.
now that you think about it, there wasn't too many bakeries in Brine.
Now we just have to get the big guy to agree with us and to give up his pie horn.
I think he'll be distracted by that hammer long enough. I could just take it. I will bet you 5 silver that he's downstairs cuddling it with it right now. It's my hammer. It's mine. Torin
Yeah.
can't have it. He's dumb.
If you want to go find out, be my guest. I'm not waking a sleeping giant,
I have before.
even
He's
if he
not
is
Hans.
Taruk. Yeah, don't wake up Taruk. That's bad.
Right around that time, Owen, you start to wake up. You start to rise from your slumber.
Lay myself off and look around for Hector anywhere. See if he's
Not to be found, at least not in the sleeping quarters.
beautiful. Then I'll head upstairs with the intent of looking for any of my compatriots that are awake. And seeking specifically Corrales and Hector.
Corrales, really quick, are you still asleep?
Yeah, I was beat up after.
Fair enough. Just double checking, man. All right. It appears Corrales is not. When you go to the main deck, you do see off to the port side, you see Torin and Nat talking. Aft end of the ship, literally laying down on the railing on the back end of the ship, looking up at the stars, you see Hector, and he is just tossing the inert amulet of memories up and catching it. Just kind of.
Damn it. Okay. Well, didn't have a chance to talk to Corrales, so I guess I'll have to do it this way. I'll,
You can go wake him if you want.
no.
Okay. It's up to you. Do what you want.
About how far away is Hector from where he's at, from where I am?
60 feet.
Perfect. Okay, then what I will do is I will use alarm. I should be able to do it from here. Let me double check the range on it, because alarm is one I don't use very often.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like maybe within 30 feet.
I think it is. Yeah, I think you're right. And it's cool. It's not big anymore. I believe it's 30-foot range, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just subtle cast an alarm, basically an alarm line that cuts from where I just get close enough to where it'll go from edge of the ship to edge of the ship.
Uh-huh.
And so it'll cast an alarm line, so if anybody passes it one way or the other, I'll know.
Okay.
Just so if somebody approaches Hector while I'm not there. And then I'll
Okay.
walk over to where Torin and Natil are. I'll just quietly approach while I straightening my outfit, cleaning myself.
Okay. Torin and Nat, you see, as Owen makes his way over to where you guys are sitting.
Torin's gonna pull the rum bottle just a little closer to him. Owen.
Torin.
Good evening. Good evening, Sir Owen.
Good evening, Lady Natil. It's been quite a while. It seems up rather late. Don't mean to pry, but wouldn't it behoove both of you to at least attempt to get some rest? We've all had a long day, and it's very difficult to fight whenever you're exhausted.
No rest for the wicked, my friend.
And that's why I'm up to watch all night. But you two hardly strike me as wicked. A little slow to trust, maybe, but that's wise. Far from wicked.
Don't take it personal. Had too many seemingly helpful people turn out to be psychos.
And I dare say you'll have to deal with that more than once in the future. That's the risk you take whenever you decide to deal with other people.
Yeah. Understatement.
Simply wanted to bid you a good evening and check on you, make sure you guys are ready for whatever the morrow may bring. And just wanted to cast my vote, so to speak. It seems as if we have some interesting decisions to make in the near future.
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, for what it's worth, which may not be much, and that is quite fine, I would suggest that we all meet in a shrine of Lord Hades and give ourselves over with full faith to him and the Lady Persephone. In my experience, paying the gods their dues is the single best way to stay on their good side. Trying to manipulate anything generally gets people like us, well, we end up with the short end of the stick, let's say. I only bring it up because I know we're on a timetable. And again, for what it's worth, I think that would be the wisest decision and the least likely to backfire on us all. And to be honest, the idea of dying and coming back is definitely something I've never done. I think that'd be quite enjoyable. One of those rare experiences most don't get.
Rare experience, indefinite, absolutely, but I don't know about exciting exactly.
Well,
But
it's quite the story to tell.
What do you find exciting? Is it a new beautiful face every morning, or is it the same reassuring hand on your shoulder?
I guess I never really thought about it. I'm gonna step away and I'll let you two gentlemen discuss. You're probably right. Owen, sleep probably would do some good. Both of you have a good evening.
Rest well.
Good night.
Sweet dreams. Remember, the things we enjoy in life need only be the things we enjoy in life. Regardless of what those are, you find what makes you happy and you seize it every day that you can. You never know how many of those we have left. And I don't mean that in
You're
an
right.
ominous way. I mean that genuinely. Our days are numbered, so we should enjoy them as much as we can. Do rest well.
Thank you.
Nat, as you make your way to the back of the ship, closer to the stairwell that goes down, you do see Hector laying down on the railing on the aft end of the ship, just tossing the amulet up in the air and catching it, just dealing with nervous energy, it looks like.
Any for your thoughts?
Oh, you yell that? You're roughly about
Oh.
60 feet away.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought I was like a little bit closer to him than that.
You can.
Um,
I just said you see him just kind of, absentmindedly, kind of like a kid with a ball, kind of like just tossing the amulet in the air and catching it while he's laying down.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll call out to him.
In mid-throw, as you call to him, he goes, huh? What? Oh, shit! And he rolls off the side of the boat, off the back.
Oh,
Oh,
crap.
Is there a splash?
No.
Does Torin see him slip?
You were talking to Owen. Nat, you see as he goes off the back end of the ship.
Oh, crap. I kick my boots off. I yell for Torin and Owen. Hector's overboard. I'm diving in, and I jump overboard.
No, as soon as she crosses that alarm line, as soon as
No.
she either screams or crosses that line.
Hang on. Yeah, you know, but she does it.
I know. All right.
Okay, Nat, you
Yes.
take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you land in the dinghy on top of Hector. As there appears to be a rowboat that was tied to the back of the ship. And you land right on top of him. Ow! Oh,
You thought you hit the water.
no. Boat.
Sorry.
Ew, it's fine. I've got a few more ribs left. Don't tell anybody that this happened like this. Wait,
you're-
was that? Ow. And
Your secret's safe with me.
and
I
you
think
guys running over.
Oh yeah, yeah. As soon
Oh,
as
yeah.
I see,
That's
I
right.
hear Nat, and then I see.
Yes. Yeah. As you two, Owen and Torin, run off, and you go to the side, and you look over, and about 15 feet down, you see a dinghy with Nat and Hector both kind of holding on to separate body parts. Just
Of course.
Oh. Not a word.
Do you guys need help?
Let's get them up, yes?
Please.
Yeah.
just don't make me climb.
Don't worry, Lord Hector. We've got it.
That's the last
He
time
just
I
kind of, there comes a point, Nat, where he just kind of like, after the day he's having, he just kind of, you feel as both of you just sit down in the rowboat and like back to back, kind of like you just, you feel each other's backs on each other. It's just like, ugh. I hate Mondays.
I'm surprised you even remember what day it is.
Well, the DM
I
didn't.
can't even keep my
the
days
DM
straight.
didn't come up with a calendar for the campaign, so.
Bullshit. We all know he did.
Anyway,
Torin's gonna try to pull the dinghy up a little higher.
you do.
so they
It's
don't have
easy.
to-
You just a couple feet. You pull, and the two of you kind of just, ow, and just kind of get back on the ship.
So what we learn?
Listen for the splash.
Also, maybe not lay on the edge of the railing of a moving vessel while we are underway, Lord Hector. I would hate to see you
Next time I'll be in the
keel-hauled
rowboat.
under.
he's gonna,
Very well,
he's gonna,
Lord Hector.
he's gonna now spinning the amulet on his finger. Now he's like, next time I'll be in the rowboat.
And then when that slides off and goes flying into the water, what then?
I
We'll
guess
just send
it's
Taruk
lost.
to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, we had different answers. My bad.
Plan B, look before you leap. With that said, I'm now going to bed. And Nat just kind of limps back, limps away with her pride.
That was rather interesting, Torin, wouldn't you say?
I would have to agree with you. That's not the craziest thing she's ever done, but it's never boring.
Which was the one that really changed it for you?
I would have to say the chandelier.
Well, I'd love to hear that story someday, but some things are easy to see. Some things are very plain. Your lack of trust in me, your fear of betrayal, your unrepentant golden retriever energy for this young lady.
It's just a player. It's not a character. That's just the player.
Golden Retriever energy is definitely the player. The other two might also be the player. We'll see.
We'll see. I'm sorry. Continue.
Jury's still out on the first two. Well,
Clear what your priorities are. It's good to have them, you know. Helps you make better decisions in your life.
I guess thank you for that. I'm sorry if I've come off as a little harsh. Hector trusts you enough, so. But like I said, I'm very keen on protecting the party. And I've gotten us in trouble before, and I refuse to do it again. So picking up random people who say they're, you know, here to help and they're too good to be true, tend to be.
Don't apologize for doing what's wise. More importantly, though, understand the situation. I am too good to be true. I'm far beyond what someone like you could normally afford. And it is not that Lord Hector trusts me. He knows that I will obey him implicitly. And as long as he trusts you, and as long as you and him are on good terms, I will always be here to help, to keep you safe at least as hard as I try to keep him safe. What you do is not being cruel or being unfair. You are being a reasonable leader for these people, and doing what you feel you must and bearing that burden. You're wise to mistrust someone who just shows up. Just understand that as things stand, I mean none of you harm. There's not a person on this boat that I am aware of that I mean the smallest quantum of ill will or violence towards. And I can swear that to you in the name of Lord Hector himself. I do wish you would at least give me more information sometimes. But if that is how you safeguard yourself and your allies, that is a very wise decision, and I will not fault you for it. But there's nothing I can say that will ever prevent you from faulting yourself for it. Or not doing it. You've had a day, it seems. Perhaps
Yeah,
you should do with some rest as well. Maybe join your friend. It can get rather cold in the seas whenever we're underway. The spray rises as high as it does.
Well, if information is what you want, and Torin almost, I don't want to say, almost overconfidently shows off the boots that he's wearing. These actually keep me extremely warm. As long as I'm wearing these, the one cold-blooded person doesn't actually get cold on this ship. It's kind of nice, because, well, it's happened before, and it sucked. It was awful. It was probably one of the worst experiences of my life.
I'm going to reach out to put a shoulder on your hand. My friend, how old are you?
Like 25?
And you've been with a partner, yes?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because I do not believe you have if you're not understanding anything that I just told you. No one worries, no one cares if you're warm or not. That's not the point. And I'll prestidigitation him to like clean him up so he smells all pretty and he's nice and clean and shiny. Doesn't smell like rum.
That's got to be the best you've smelled the entire campaign.
He'll have like a faint like.
Don't say lilac and gooseberries.
I was gonna say lilac and gooseberries. She strikes me as like she's from like a foresty kind of place.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking.
Fine.
Some pines.
I'm thinking loam. So I'm thinking loam, rain, and petrichor.
You smell
So
like
wet,
you
wet
smell
black earth
yeah.
and wet stones during right before a rainstorm, and wood smoke, and make him smell that way and go.
You smell like a car freshener tree. Nah.
Must still be tired. It's normally much better than that.
Yeah, right. No, it's what
that?
he said.
Plastic?
What?
How
No.
did that get in there?
It's not. What is new boat smell? What is that?
New boat smell. I took that out of there ages ago.
So you are clean as clean can be. You have a fragrance, which is the first time that Torin has ever had a pleasant fragrance in this campaign. He even found a way to cover up the acid breath.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty impressive.
Yes, I am.
You actually feel like maybe in between the scales is clean now.
Huh.
Wow.
Okay, fine. That was impressive. And
Okay, well, you're welcome.
Thank you. I
Now
will.
head downstairs. It's late. You've been drinking, and you have
Not that
someone
much.
you would like to spend time with.
Thank you. And I will try to be less harsh. Can't promise you anything. I will try. And will also still have my eye on you, because you're not the first person in the party that I've threatened to dangle off the ship. Probably won't be the last.
It'd probably be the hardest time you'd have trying to do so, but I do believe you.
Well, then we're on the same page. That's all that matters. Good night, Owen.
Good night.
Torn almost like has to force it as he's. I'm going downstairs now. And he,
I'll watch him go downstairs, and as soon as he's out of sight, my entire bearing will change.
Yeah.
As soon as he's done out of sight, it'll just be Lord Hector.
Mm-hmm.
You have your memories back, is this correct?
Kind of looks over at you. Yeah, I've got him back.
so you know who I am and you know where I'm from.
I mean, I know why you're here. I have no memory of you beyond the deal.
If you know why I'm here, then you can understand that that is simply all that I am. That is who I am and what I am. And you understand the rules. I'm sworn to obey you, sworn to protect you.
Sure.
Understand that that will always be my first priority. Beyond that, whatever is at your convenience.
Understand that. Imagine a man with a cup. And he set that cup under a well, under a pump. And all he got was one little drop of water every few seconds. And then one day, somebody opened that pump full bore and water just poured into that cup and overflowed and kept overflowing. That's what it's like when your very essence is put back. Okay? I'm still piecing together everything and making sense of it. It's going to take probably a few days for me to remember everything. But I know the important things. I know why you're here. Know the details of the deal. I understand the magnitude of the magic involved. I have no wish to dominate or force anything. You act as you will.
As you command, Lord Hector. Tell me, are you fond of them? Do they bring you happiness or joy, positivity of any kind?
Yeah, they do. Some more than others. But as a whole, yeah.
Then I'll see to it that they survive.
Owen, that may be the first time during this entire knowing of Hector, now that you've met him, that you've seen him smile.
Owen will remember this.
Yeah, they make me happy.
Then I will do what I can to keep them safe and keep them happy. Despite themselves, they seem a capable sort, most of them.
They are. They're good people.
What an interesting concept.
It is.
My condolences, Lord Hector.
Then you get it.
I know what it is to be a man with a full cup, who learns the joys of filling that cup and eventually empties it out. You can't go back. I
No.
say I don't know if I would wish to either. But these experiences are fun, enjoyable.
There was novelty in starting with a clean slate with them and myself. I could be whoever I wanted to be because there was no regret. There were no decisions in my past. There was nothing that held me down. There were no mistakes that held power over me. I could just be me.
The peace of simply existing. Pure, blissful passivity. It gets old
Now-
after a while, I
Yeah.
hear. Thank you, Lord Hector. I simply needed to know. Owen will bow that very formal on his knees, all the way down to bow, and stand up and clean himself off. Very well. I shall keep watch if you'd like to transfer a bit. If not, I'll be around. Hopefully Corrales will wake up in a little while and we can chit-chat. If not, in the morning I'll see the party. You enjoy your evening. I'm always just a call away.
I'll be up here.
Understood, Lord Hector. Sorry. Understood, Hector.
Hey, you're trying.
Rowan will walk away and he will go and basically sit somewhere on the fore of the ship for the next few hours and keep watch. As he does so, he'll take a couple of coins and whisper a quick prayer to... he'll take 4 coins, and on 2 of them he'll put a rudimentary horse on them, and throw them over for Poseidon, and then 2 he'll put a rudimentary skull and prayer to Hades, and he'll simply ask Poseidon to ferry his prayer, and Hades to grant him wisdom on how best he should approach the current problem.
Okay. All right. Well, what I was going to do, guys, unless anybody had anything else, we were going to go to the next morning. And specifically, each of you are roused awake, each with a message to meet Captain Ramsey in his quarters as to the decision of an overall course and plan for where to go next on the leg of the journey.
Okay. So after receiving my message from the captain.
Basically, yeah, each of you kind of got like a captain wants to see you type thing, each one of you.
All right. We'll be there.
Immediately.
Yeah. So I just shake awake and look around, try to wake up the rest, whoever is still asleep. Hey, come on, guys. Captain wants to see us.
The only one who's really still nodding is, in fact, Hector, who you see he's kind of down, like, in his sleeping quarters, but he's kind of crisscross applesauce, and he's got that blade that he found, kind of hugging it, kind of half asleep still.
And I thought Taruk would be the one hugging a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of leaning against.
I'll prestidigitation the smell of wood smoke, like a fire, to just get his body to react and wake up. Or smelling salts.
Either one. Morning. You see as he kind of grabs his ribs. Oh. So, does the captain have rum on this ship?
Oh, yeah. Well, he did. Let's go with he did. Yeah, did.
Might need to borrow some.
Good luck.
As you guys make your way to the cabin, you see the cabin door is locked.
Oh boy. Alright.
Torin with a very mighty pound.
Answer.
Is the door? You said the door was locked, or just closed?
Oh,
Yeah,
closed.
You said
Sorry.
lock, so like Torn's
No.
like, Jay, asshole, open the door.
No. Yeah, no, you're pushing on a pull door. No,
Okay.
it's not. No, it's not locked. It's just closed.
Okay.
You just
I'll-
yeah, that's all.
I'll open the door and just not with a judgmental look. I'll just open the door and nod slightly at Torin, and then let everybody in, and then I'll go in last and close the door.
As you guys head in, fairly pristine looking quarters. Not a thing out of place. You see Ramsey, who is in the middle of actually doing a little personal shave job, kind of tightening up around his, the handlebar mustache deal, and tightening up the beard around it, and doing his morning routine. Good morning. Answer.
Torn's gonna look around the room and just kind of giggle to himself, not say anything, just.
Not a thing looks out of place,
Yep.
Torn.
That's all. Torn doesn't say anything outside of just the little giggle as he's like, okay.
Hope everybody slept well. It was an interesting day yesterday.
That is
But,
an understatement.
I believe we have officially hit a catch here because, as far as I understand, this is as far as I was supposed to take you. So, where to?
What do you guys? It's up to you guys. Like I said, I've made my peace with how or anything. Like, I know what I have to do. I know what has to be done. And I'm not above or opposed. But I'm not going to do anything without, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't want you guys to feel like obligated, and I want you guys to have a choice too in the matter. So whatever for you guys, like whatever you want to do that's going to be best, we'll go that route.
Taruk kind of speaks up and says, okay, so we have 3 options, right?
Yeah.
So we can go back to Sandbar and see if we can find that hero from the fairy tales or the folk tales that snuck in to Tartarus, and we can try to see if we can figure out like how he did it, right? Or we can go to these islands and activate these shrines, and make sure that I pick up that fire giant belt along the way, because that's really important. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but that's really important to me.
Yes.
So, that's another way, or the other way, which is, I think, quicker. So we all have to die, right?
Yep. That's the other.
And then we go to Tartarus that way because we have permission, right? Right?
Yes.
We do, in fact,
We
have
do have-
permission.
Well, I vote that option, personally. It seems the most interesting. And the least likely to be replicated or otherwise interrupted by somebody attempting to ruin our plans.
Yes.
Sadly, I agree with him. No one's gonna try to follow us that way. That's for sure. Considering we already have someone on the prowl, for lack of a better term. I definitely don't like the sneaking in option, because pacing off Hades is not on my to-do list today.
Young Karalos, what is your opinion? What would you like to do? What do you think would be the best way for us to proceed?
My concern with the death route is our equipment doesn't come with us. And I don't have much now, but like, how do your weapons come with you, Torin?
Well, if our gear doesn't follow us, then nobody else's will either. We can rely on our wits, our powers, and whatever we can beg for, bargain for, or steal to use while we're there. I've heard plenty of legends of great heroes buried with their weapons. Maybe they're able to keep ghosts of their gear with them when they pass on. Or maybe we can make a deal and pay a few people's passage in order to, borrow some of the things they may have had on them. If I remember the religion of this area, we will certainly be able to make it work.
I'll let the party roll a religion check if you want.
That would be very nice.
Sure.
Religion, don't get to do that too often.
14.
12.
Baby.
I'm gonna say nobody knows. Nat, the only thing that you can go off of is that Persephone didn't exactly give you step-by-step directions on how all of that would work. There's a moment of silence after you mention that. And Hector speaks up and says, there's conjecture as to what happens when we cross over. I get this weird feeling that if we've made a deal with the goddess of death, basically, that she knows why we're going, right?
Correct. I explained to her.
I get this feeling that you don't have to worry about your items going with you. I don't think that is necessarily your biggest problem. I think the problem is that
You have to die.
you're dead. There have been many rumors and stories as to what goes over with you.
Well, if we're dead, then we needn't worry about our gear too much, considering nothing should be able to kill us. We'll already be dead.
Can you die twice?
Sure, if you try hard and believe in yourself.
I think the rules are a little different once you're there.
I trust my wits, and I trust you lot's insane luck in order for us to pull through.
I'm going to ask the uncomfortable question. Let's say we make this vote.
Mm-hmm.
I'm voting for the Athena way, by the way, but I'm going to go along with whatever you guys want to do. But let's say we decide that we're going the Persephone way.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to do? Just take a dive off the boat and inhale?
No, I'll simply knock each person unconscious and kill them.
I don't need any help. He kind of cuts you off.
I was thinking whatever way made each person the most comfortable. Like, if they had their choice.
Well, no one here wants my choice. I'm just going to tell you that now.
What is your choice?
Yeah, Torin, what is your choice? Because I was going to strangle you in your sleep. I mean, I felt like that would make me happy.
The death of your choice, not the murder of your choice. Because you're second on the list, big guy.
Oh, boy.
Actually, third. Fourth. No. Yeah, fourth on the list. No, my ideal death would be some kind of epic fight to the death, some giant monster. I tell you guys, go on without me. It impales me while I'm still swinging, and then, basically go out swinging is how I
Seems a bit
envision
much
dying.
to orchestrate on such short notice, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, finding a monster to stab me in the chest is not going to be easy.
Well, it might eat you as well, in which case you
Exactly.
don't have a body to come back to.
Exactly, see?
A more practical aspect, if there is a way for us to die while we are safe in our bunks, that would be the best way of doing it, yes?
I'm not saying my option is the best option. I'm just saying you wouldn't want my ideal death.
We are taking a road trip to the underworld. We are not going there permanently. So you can still have your ideal death, Torin, my friend, but...
Wait. That's where you lose me and where I have to object. How do we know that?
How do we know it's
not
not a
permanent?
We're dealing with the gods. It's always a matter of faith. As much as I hate it, it is what it is. Those are the rules of dealing with the gods.
I've never met a god, Hector, so I wouldn't know whether or not they would tell the truth of, yeah, we'll totally bring you back to life. But if we're doing one a favor, maybe they're not gonna, stab us in the back. One hopes. Oh, one really, really hopes.
I don't feel. I don't think that. I don't know. I don't think she would. I don't think she would lie to us. I mean, just for what it's worth.
All right. Well, I made my vote.
Okay.
So that's one for Athena.
Yep.
One for
And
Persephone. Who's next?
I believe Persephone is the best.
Kralos, Nat.
Athena. But I won't argue the Persephone route if that's what it comes to.
I won't either. That's 2 and 2. So Torin and Owen this for Persephone, and Keralos and Hector for Athena.
Hector for Athena.
And I don't want to speak for Tim since he's not here.
Yeah,
only you guys know what he was leaning on, like you get, with the party chat or whatever.
George, would you know?
I can run downstairs right now if you want.
Might help.
You know what? Let's take a time here while he goes and
All
does
right.
that. We'll leave everybody on a cliffhanger
Oh,
right
the
here.
cliffhanger of the night. Ladies and
Right
gentlemen, this is the Curbside Podcast. This brief commercial break brought to you by repsports.com. Use the promo code Curbside8 for a 10% discount.
Woo!
With that, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. Mike, and
Yoink.
we're back.
All right. We last left off. The party was in the middle of the official democratic process of what to do. Owen and Torin had voted to go the route of Persephone. Keralos and Hector had chose the route of Athena. As we found out off camera, our beloved Taruk decided that he would vote for the route of Athena. So everything does fall on Nat. Nat, what do you choose to do?
Well, I listen to what everyone has to say and just carefully consider. Well, let's go the route of Athena.
Hector kind of stares at you for a second. Are you sure?
No, but
What do you want to do?
my choice, I'd slit my throat right here and there so I can get down there. But I want to be sure that we have the best fighting chance ourselves to do it. So.
And you're saying that you'd rather do the Persephone way.
My heart would go the Persephone way, but my logic is saying go the Athena way.
Just remember, you should do what you know is right in your heart, what you feel.
Hector kind of looks at you and I'm sorry, go ahead, Owen.
No, I was just going to say, we can look back on the decisions we've made and question whether or not they were right. But we can never lie to ourselves about what we enjoyed and what we knew we missed out on. If there's a decision that you feel in your heart of hearts would bring you hope or joy more than logical satisfaction, I dare say that you should take it.
It's like I said, I know what I want to do, but like I said, if us going the Athena route, if it's going to give us the best chance, give us the best advantage to fight, I would regret losing my sister before we get there, but I would be even more heartbroken if something were to happen to one of you. So if any one of us goes down, I'd rather us go down knowing that we had everything we could. We did everything we could. We had having as much of the cards in our favor.
I don't like it.
And that's all I have to say.
I know everyone's made their choice, but here's how I feel, and y'all can stick with it or whatnot. We're trying to get to Isla. Trying to get to Isla as fast as we can because we've already, I don't want to say wasted time, but we've already used a lot of her time. Who knows what that stupid tiger's doing? Who knows what he's already done? But who's to say we don't run into our mercenary friends? Who's to say one of us doesn't get hurt on the way? Who's to say, because I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering the stories correctly, that Tartarus isn't at the front door. So we're going to have to get to the underworld and then get through the underworld to get to Tartarus. Whereas Persephone's basically opening the door for us. She says, here you go. Here's your tiger. Go kick its ass. And if you live. If you win, I'll bring you guys back to where you started. I think that's our best option, and that's my 2 cents.
Well said. Anyone else have anything else they want to add?
What's the time differential? How long would it take us to go the Athena route?
Don't know. You don't have a, Well, you have a star chart in Nat's head.
Mm-hmm.
You have a rough idea of how long it might take. You don't know. You know how long it would take to get to the islands. You don't know how long it would take to search them, to figure out where the shrines are, to figure out how to activate them. Those are all unknowns.
Assume it takes us 5 minutes to do all of that. How long to get from one island to the next? A week? 2 weeks?
Nat, just from what you know, you're talking at least days in between the trips to the islands.
I'm sorry, how many days you cut out?
I just said days. You know, just
Okay.
from going from each island to each island, you're talking days for each one, depending.
How long would it take us to get to Sandbar from here?
3 days.
If we go, how long do you think we would spend? How long do you think it would take us to at least find her once we get there?
That's an unknown. None of you. There's no roll that you could make because none of you have ever been to Tartarus. You don't know where Regis' realm is. You don't know anything about Tartarus.
So some unknown length of time plus we have some unknown length of time.
Mm-hmm.
Some unknown length of time plus 3 days if we go back to Sandbar. And some unknown length of time plus several days plus several days plus several days.
Yeah.
If time is of the essence, the only real... This again, it's just in my opinion for what it's worth. If we are not going to do it now, then we should immediately make to Sandbar and do it in the temple. And because if there's a chance that we would get aid in finding or doing what it is we're setting out to do, that is the best chance we will have of doing it. Or we do it now and try to gain 3 days' time and initiative. This creature, is it aware that we're coming for it?
Yes.
Very.
Yes, he knows.
And it's intelligent.
Extremely.
Unfortunately.
So every minute we give it more is another potential trap or obstacle in our way. So I would vote, if you want to be safe and maximize our odds, we make it for Sandbar and go to the Temple of Hades and enter the underworld directly. If you want the most efficient way, I say we go immediately. But again, that's just my opinion. I worry that giving something intelligent with power a week or more of time to prepare for us would counteract any preparations we do on our side. And whatever initiative we may have would be lost.
He's right.
What do you guys?
Life was all about what we'd rather do. Life would be a whole lot different. This is...
Ain't that the truth?
Listen, you know what I think, but if we take too long, there's not going to be much to rescue.
Mm-mm.
If we decide to go, let's do it now. Maybe I've lived too long as it is.
Okay.
Well, here's another question. Not so much about our decision, but something that'll help us in the long run. How do we get a hold of our friends? V's out there doing whatever it is V does. Belden's on some sort of weird crusade with Kit. How do we get a hold of them? Tell them, hey, meet us at blank.
Ramsey kind of pipes up at that and, well, where did you leave them last?
Well,
it's the first time he's spoken the entire time.
Well, Belden was on Sandbar the last time we saw him. Don't know where he went after that. Him and Kit ran off. V was
on Sandbar now.
Yeah.
She was...
Hector pipes for a second at that and says, I wouldn't bet that she's there anymore, but yeah, she was.
But that's where she knew we were. I'd be willing to bet she'd go there looking for us.
Right. Well, if you lot have business, he kind of is looking at you rather disturbed at one of the options. I intended on returning to Sandbar anyway. I can leave word for your friends if I see them.
That would
Definitely.
be nice.
Can we remain below decks until we return, so to speak?
The DM's gonna ask, what do you mean?
Like our bodies, can they stay below deck
Yeah.
while we're in Tartarus?
Oh,
Can we
okay.
have him pay him a little bit to drop him off at like the Hades shrine, just so we're like not in the middle of a boat that's attacked by a kraken while we respawn?
Okay, Tim's with you
That
now.
is put it.
I got it. No, I wanted to make sure what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Keeping on the meat suit.
No, I was thinking of just dumping you over the side and seeing what happens.
At least you're honest about it, Captain.
Your luck would get spit back up.
Maybe. I can take your bodies back. Morbid as that is, you wish them to be delivered to the shrine to Persephone in Hades?
Yes, sir.
All right. That can be arranged.
All right. So, that's gonna be the way we're gonna do this. The way of Persephone. So,
I guess we are.
now come. You guys want a little bit of time to kind of think about how you want to do it, or just kind
A
of.
few minutes to think about how I want to kill myself? Yes, that'd be nice.
Again, I would offer. It would be easier just simply one by one, slowly knock you unconscious and then end it with a stroke. It wouldn't even be a scar. At least not one visible.
Oh, thank
Guarantee
you,
it would be
Owen.
painless.
What's some emotional trauma?
In this group, the
I mean,
only
unless you'd
reason
rather
we're all
experience
friends.
Exactly.
Emotional
really-
trauma?
The reason
Hector
we're
kinda
all
speaks
friends.
Hector kind of speaks. Emotional trauma? You mean Tuesday?
Exactly. Well, I guess if there's any last words or anything,
Yes,
anybody?
everyone take a couple of these, and I'll pull out a handful of silver coins,
Okay.
and I'll tell everybody to put 2 under your tongue. To pay the ferryman.
Yeah.
And if I'm the last to go, I'll make sure that I put 2 on your eyes so that you'll have an extra set. Perhaps if you pay someone's way across, they'll owe you a favor. Could do you one in kind. Many souls that don't get ferried across because they died alone or were not given the proper rights. I don't know if it will give us any advantage, but any advantage we might have is better than one we don't.
Exactly.
I dare say I'm sorry for seeming so morbid. This wasn't how I intended the day to go at all.
Trust me, I don't think any of us were, well, we knew it was a possibility, but we weren't banking on that talk to be today.
Yeah, no, definitely thought we had a couple more days before we just, died.
It's
Not
only
like-
temporary.
It's not like people usually plan it out, though.
Also true.
I'll... He looked like he was getting ready to get out of his chair, and it's kind of like didn't know what to say. See you guys later. And
See you soon.
gets up and walks out.
Yeah. Corellos.
Alright.
Random curiosity for you, my friend. Think Hades will be mad at all the business we send him?
If anything, he should be thrilled.
I don't know.
He would be mad about business, right?
Gotta hope not. There's gonna be a long line if they're waiting, though.
We made the long line, Torin.
Mine's longer than Taruk's.
I'm not touching that one.
You already have.
Ah!
But then,
Quick!
I love it. I can't even be mad.
Quick on the
That-
draw.
That's great.
Beautiful. Mwah!
Hmm.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Barring any parting words here,
Torn has a couple, so just give Torn a second. Much like Hector, he's gonna go.
yeah, Hector's gone.
he's gonna go have his last say, and then he'll be ready. So Torin's gonna go up to the deck, far at the front of the ship, where it's just him. Okay. And he's gonna fold his hands together as best he can.
Uh-huh.
Don't know if this is gonna work. I really don't know if this is gonna work. But Bahamut, protect me, my friends, and Owen as we take this journey deep into the underworld. And I don't know how this works, so I hope that you hear this and send good fortune.
Roll a religion check.
5.
Kind of say the words, open one eye and kind of look around. It's nothing but the breeze on the sea. Get a spray of salt water. It's kind of hits your face. Not a wave, just a light little spray.
Just some mist, just some.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a maybe. And Torin's gonna make sure everything's ready. Armor strapped up, both maces or both Morning Stars on his side. And all right, here goes nothing. And he's gonna head back downstairs.
All right.
I'll simply wait for everybody else to do what they gotta do.
Corrales, you still here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure that Hector's not knocking on a door and no one will answer. Is what I'm saying. You hear a knock at your door.
Come in.
Long black hair, a half elf. It's Hector. Got a second?
Yeah.
This is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not excited for this step of the journey.
No, I'm not either. Mainly because I think I'm on the scale. I think she's going to get her sister back, and I think I'm going to be what's taken in return. I'm cool with that. I really am.
We won't be cool with that, Hector.
I appreciate that, but there's something in my gut that tells me that you don't get to take something from the underworld for nothing.
And even trade.
Knowing what I know now about myself, I don't think I'm going to be allowed to come back. So, in case I don't, I need you to... I believe you, of all people, are going to make it out of this. I've also kind of trusted you with some things.
Mm-hmm.
When you get back, you see V, just tell her I'm sorry.
Should I ask about what, Hector?
Just everything.
Okay.
Appreciate that. He leaves. Okay. Guys, I'm not going to make you pantomime or do any of this. So I'm just going to ask the party collectively. Are we taking the shortcut to the afterlife here?
Yep. That's what it seems like. And
Owen?
Yeah, I would like to perform last rites for everyone before I go,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just wing it on me. But I do want to make sure they have their coins, that they're already gone, and then
The only person, I'll tell you, the only person you don't find in a room is in a bed is Hector.
if he
Hector.
wanted me to do it, he'd have told me. And if he was going to do it himself, he's going to do it the way he's going to do it. And he could have ordered me to not interfere. It wouldn't have mattered ultimately.
Anyone who's curious, you can ask. Hector is not in a room. Nat. Yes?
Yep.
Corrales?
Yeah.
Okay. So collectively, and I assume Tim's not going to choose to stay behind. So I'm going to go that Taruk is going as well.
Argue with Nat. I don't think at all.
Okay. The party, each and every one of you, now has one death. If you would like, this is for both me and you, go ahead and mark somewhere on your character sheets or somewhere where you're keeping notes that you have one death. And in Hector's case, sorry, I'm now writing out a chart for you guys. Sorry, everybody. I know there's a dramatic pause here, but the entire party just died. It's Taruk.
It's the
Owen.
first TPK of the
That is in
campaign.
The first TPK.
Oh, man.
And it's done by the players to get to the underworld. Torn, Nat, Corrales, Torn. Kit, which aren't here. And Belden, who's not here. Okay. All right, you guys. You each choose your chosen method. We're not going to go that morbid.
Mm-mm.
The deed is done. Each of you go through a very similar experience where your very essence is pulled from the ship. You feel yourself almost dragged. Not dragged, but almost just, there's a gentle pulling. You leave the physical bodies. Some of you who look back and you see your body's laying there. Almost the proverbial out-of-body experience. And the veil of this world rolls back. You see not Thrandia, not the world, but you see darkness. Just for a brief time. And the following images that you see are just almost beyond comprehension. There's a vastness before each and every one of you. It looks like it stretches on and on, infinite. Almost as if the very heavens are before you. There is no beginning to them and there's no end to them. There's nothing but stars. You're pulled beyond it. And almost as if waking from a dream, you feel like that your eyes have been opened to something beyond your comprehension, at least in the moment. You can't put everything that you're seeing together. How small all of these memories that you have of Thrandia, the Brotherhood, your friends, your family, your loved ones, all of these things, all these troubles and connections and ties to the material world, and how small and trivial they all seem. It's like your very essence is stretched. And it just keeps going. Until, almost as if waking from a beautiful yet terrifying dream, each of you find yourselves on shores. And each of you steps out. It's dark, cavernous. You're somewhere you don't know. It's darkness, but not in a sense that you've seen before. You can see, but there's no light here. There's nobody around. And a couple of you kind of look behind you. And you see the ramparts of almost a canoe. A raft. Some type of watercraft. And in it you see a robed figure. With a single pole that just kind of nods to each of you on the shore. He uses, wordlessly, just uses the pole to push off the shore. You see as the boat starts to depart and heads back into the heavens. You look down and you see you have bodies. It's very similar to the bodies that you had in the material plane. You look similar, lighter, but you each have physical features that you recognize each other. And weirdly enough, you look and kind of check on your backs and on your sides and everything. You have belongings and things, weapons. And before any of you have a chance to say a word, there's a female voice disembodied from behind and says, "It took you long enough to get here."
And we recognize the voice, right?
As you turn around, you are not met with the entity that the voice belongs to. Before you, you see a giant quadruped creature with 3 heads staring down at each of you, with red eyes burning like coals in each head, as a hellhound stares at each of you.
That
See, as the heads are bearing teeth, each head is enormous in size, and you as far as the size of the creature, you find yourself dwarfed. It reminds you of the Sky Titan incident, as the size of Cerberus kind of dwarfs you guys. It's very scary, and you hear the voice, the disembodied voice, speak again. "They have our permission to be here, Cerberus. Now go." You see as the 3 heads are still just, you see as one, Keralos, as one of the hound heads just comes up really close to you. And you see as everything that you're wearing kind of gets sucked up for a bit.
I will definitely slide behind Taruk.
And you do see, and this is the one time I'm going to speak for Taruk, it is probably the one and only time you've seen concern on Taruk's face. Like, I don't know what my next move would be if this thing got crazy. Even Taruk is showing pause in the face of this entity. And you hear the sound of just a light pat, just a go. And there is a huge humanoid form of this lovely woman that, Nat, you did see once. And it is Persephone. And she kind of shoos Cerberus away, and you see as she's, "Oh, I'm sorry." And you see as her likeness and her visage kind of shrinks to kind of be more your size and more the way she immediately puts it, she goes, "I trust I am less overwhelming. Welcome."
Thank you.
Owen just bows respectfully. "Lady Persephone, it's a pleasure to see you."
Pleasure to meet you as well. Don't say this to many, but thanks for being on time.
We would have been. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Only thing she was going to say was she was looking at you, Nat, and says, "Our deal still stands."
Thank you.
There might be one little hang-up, though, and you hear loud crashing in the background. For the last time, you just hear yelling in the background, just
Oh.
utter chaos and commotion, and you just, oh gosh. Please be patient with him. It's been a rough day.
Of course.
Cerberus! Where's Cerberus? Oh my! And you just see now, dark blackish and silver armor for anybody who's played Witcher 3. Very close to Nilfgaard armor, but not nearly the gold embroidery that one has. You see short, dark hair, very pale complexion. However, the hair, although is dark, it is set ablaze. You do see what you assume to be the master and god of this realm, Hades. And he appears to be mid-temper tantrum. For the last 1,000 years, I have been trying, and you see he's basically blessing out what appears to be some type of person under his employ, some type of bookkeeper. Because for the past few 1,000 years, we have been sorting out the last Great War. And you're telling me that you sent 2 billion people to Elysium who weren't supposed to go! And you see his Persephone is just, oh. He really cares about his work.
Of course.
Nah. Who are these people?
Lord Hades.
Torn doesn't say anything. It just sounds like someone shaking like a bag of coins because his armor's just...
Right. And then you see as he immediately sees Persephone, and you see, sweetheart, I didn't know you were here. Who are these guests that we have? And you just see a 180, just a 100% tone change. Sees Persephone, looks at him, and she says, "These are the people I told you about. You have made a deal with them regarding the removal of that Rakshasa I told you about. It's a small matter. And once they've removed it, I've guaranteed that they can return." Return? You already made a deal with them that they could return? Yeah, I hoped it wouldn't be a problem. And he kind of looks at him, looks at each and every one of you hard. All right. And you see as he materializes a bit of parchment and an inkwell and a pen out of nowhere. All right, I need names. You, Dragon Boy, you're first.
I am Neremos Torin II, sir.
Neremos Torin II. Okay. Okay, you. He points at you, Owen.
Owen Schwarzschild, Lord Hades.
Owen Schwarzschild. Okay. Tiefling over there.
Ralos Abrazar.
Corellos Abrazar. You're a little... Oh, you are definitely here before I intended you on being here. Did you have a death wish?
No, not at all. No offense.
None taken. It's just you're kind of young. Like, did you get bored?
We have a mission.
Okay, a mission. How about you? And you see as his look has stopped on Hector. I know your name. Sweetheart, what's your name?
Natil Starag, and
Teal Starag. Okay.
there
Well,
will be Lord Hades. I apologize. There's going to be one more in our party. After we remove the Rakshasa, my sister, Isla Starag.
You said that they could take someone with them? And you see is now that's basically turned into like a conversation that has ignored you guys for this. Yes, I didn't think it would be a problem. Why? I never let anybody go back. You know I don't send anyone back. Yes, but it's just this married couple discussion off to the side, completely ignoring your existence.
Mm-hmm.
I think she runs down here.
I'm keeping him. He stays. You know what he calls. You know what he did.
I know. I wasn't ready to talk about that yet, but yeah, I mean, it's
I'm telling you. He sent entirely too much business my way. He stays.
I understand, but there's a problem with that. And what you guys are picking up is that Hades is refusing to allow Hector to go back. Okay, listen. My wife has made a deal with you, but I haven't made a deal with you. You get rid of my cat problem, I'll allow you all to leave, except him. And he's pointing at Hector. He stays. I think you've caused enough damage in one lifetime, don't you think? Hector's clammed up. He's not saying anything. I missed one of you. You, big boy. What's your name? My name
Oh dear God.
is Taruk Bloodfist. I am the slayer of bugbears, of mosquito demons. I have... Yeah, that's fine. Taruk Bloodfist. You didn't let me finish.
I think there's other things we need to be worried about, my friend.
Yeah, like Hector.
Especially Hector.
Gives a
Okay.
crap about your stupid nicknames.
Is this what you wish, Lord Hector?
Hector he's ignoring you guys. His eyes are focused on Hades.
Very well.
He hasn't said a word since arriving.
Yes.
Corrales, how do you trust the god of the underworld? I'm at a loss here.
You see, as you guys are kind of amongst yourself, Hector is now just staring. Hades is staring at Hector. They don't know, do they? No, they don't. That explains a lot. So my wife made a deal with you. Fine, here's my deal. You stay. For all the trouble you've caused, all the business that you sent my way, there is no negotiating you out of here. You're mine. And at that moment, there's another female voice. I have a problem with that. See, Uncle, he belongs to me. And from behind Hector, with hands on the back of his shoulders, you see a blonde woman. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, beyond any words could ever describe beautiful. And there's a hushed silence as Persephone is just like, I said there were things that we needed to talk about. And Hades is kind of like eyes wide, looking at his niece. You see, one of mine has already prayed to me on his behalf, and you see as this beautiful woman is talking about Hector. You see, he's mine. He's under my protection, and he is going back because he falls under my domain, Uncle. And you see what you would expect would follow would be an absolute anger and outburst of rage. You see a bit of amusement cross his face as he starts. You see that Hades is putting something together that none of you truly realize is happening. And he starts grinning disturbedly at Aphrodite. Well, are you saying we get a chance to play? I haven't played against you in a long time. And this regal countenance of this goddess standing behind Hector kind of changes in age mid-conversation. It's the first time you guys have noticed that what looked like a woman maybe in her early to mid-30s, powerful, strong, sensual but empirical, changes to a younger countenance, and the demeanor changes. More childlike, more, yeah, I know we haven't played in so long, and it's been like millennia since we've played, Uncle. Can we? And he just set the table. And immediately under you guys, the shores change, and you are raised up what seems like hundreds of feet into the air on a raised platform.
Oh.
And you guys find yourselves on a table. You are the size of tiny figurines on a board. And there are two entities sitting at the table. On one end of the table, there is Hades. On the other, there is this goddess. The goddess Aphrodite. And you see as she grabs Hector, as if grabbing, for everybody's reference, a D&D miniature, and sets him on the board, and Aphrodite says, "That's my hero. And these," and she starts grabbing each and every one of you and placing you on certain places on the board. "These are my pieces. Let's play, Uncle." You see as the rage and anger that you saw moments ago gives way to amusement. Okay. This makes the deal a little more interesting. You see a figurine materialize on the board in front of you guys. Looks like a stone likeness of Regus on the other side of the board. You have to give me a chance to set up my defenses. Sure, go ahead. And you see as the terrain on the board in front of you starts to change. Rocks and mountains appear. You see stone-like visages of humanoid forms appear at different points in the board. Not everything makes sense to you immediately. Yeah, I think that should do. Now, what are the terms? And Aphrodite looks at the board and looks at him. If they can get to the Rakshasa, kill it. She gets her sister. Hector goes back. I have plans for him. And you just see, for the first time now, you see Persephone off to the side, the same size as them, almost like an exasperated look on her face of, this always happens when you two. Fine, just don't make a mess. And Persephone walks off. All right, mind. You always were my favorite niece. You know that, right? Buttering me up is not going to make this any easier on you when you lose. Can we begin? Fine, we begin. But if any of them die along the way, they stay. You see her shift in her chair for a moment. Agreed. Kill the Rakshasa. She gets her sister. Hector goes free. Your word? My word. Let's play. And now, you guys lose sight of these Olympic entities as the board and everything starts spinning. You guys start spinning, and you find yourselves hurled down hundreds and hundreds of feet until you look like you're going to splatter on a surface, and then you stop right above it, and you are gently set down on the ground beneath you. And the game has begun. You are in Tartarus.
Question.
Yes.
While we were there, did we get a chance to see as the board was setting up?
No.
Okay.
What you know is that somewhere on this plane that you're on is Regis and Nat's sister. You know that you're not alone here. You know that there are other entities and obstacles that will be in your way. But right now, Hades and Aphrodite, now revealed to be the guardian and protector to Hector for unknown reasons, are now playing a game that involves every last one of you. You know what's at stake. Nat, Hector, and each and every one of you now. Nothing changes for you guys, except if you die, you are permanent residents of Tartarus, and Hades takes you early.
No pressure, right?
Mhm.
Oh, no pressure.
Nope, no pressure. None whatsoever.
As you guys have clearly been set on the board, from behind you, the female voice comes again, which I want to send you guys an image of roughly what I picture this person looks like.
Okay.
That is who you see behind you. Your size.
Okay.
Now, maybe there's a time here for a few explanations before we really get into the heart of the game.
Yeah, explanation might be nice.
So, hi, I'm Aphrodite. I'm here to help you. Specifically, I'm here to help him. And she points at Hector. Because he's mine. He belongs to me. Okay.
Okay.
I was asked to intervene on his behalf by one of my own, and I'm here for him. Coincidentally, that means I'm here for the rest of you.
Okay. So, all right. Well, is there anything we need to know about the rules or like?
Yes. And she comes up to you like I said, very similar to like a teenage girl with the demeanor that she has in this moment.
This is terrifying to me.
And she kind of claps your hands for a minute. She goes, yes, sweetheart, don't die. That's not good. Because if you die, my uncle's going to keep you. And there's nothing that I can do about it at that point, because then you're really dead. And, you know,
that's bad.
Love transcends many things, but, dead is a little difficult for me. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. Do you know anything of... Oh, go ahead, Torin.
I'm very lost. What do you mean yours? Like you... That...
Oh, it's so good that you're so cute. Okay. Oh, 1 second.
What?
And you see as her likeness changes and she ages a little, almost to maybe a woman in her mid to late 30s. And a little more formal, a little more straightforward, and a little more aggressive. She says, well, the basic part of it is that one of my followers prayed to me for his behalf to protect him. That's why I'm here. So by proxy, I'm here protecting you.
Got it.
But if you die, there's nothing that I can do.
Got it. Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Many gods choose heroes that they have a vested interest in for a time. Did you ever hear the story of Jason? Well, Hera had a really big thing for Jason for a while. You ever hear the story of Odysseus? Well, Athena was all about Odysseus for a while. Simply consider that I am interested in Hector for the time being. not to the level that they were on their heroes. It's not that invested. I am here because of one of my most valued followers asked me to be here for him. And that's why I'm here.
That makes that okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Do we know said follower? Do we know said follower?
Maybe. I don't think that's very important to your current situation.
Yes, you're not wrong. I'm just asking questions.
Maybe we're... And she disappears for a second, and then you hear the voice in your ear, and she just, maybe worry about the spiders first.
Huh?
What?
Weapon drawn, looking around.
Okay. Do we have a torch or anything that we're able, or is it still like really dark?
It is very dark.
Crap.
If
okay.
you all certainly have torches and means of light. What do? It's like you forgot how to play D&D. Nothing's changed. You just know now that you're on a literal game board being played by gods.
So literally nothing's changed. Got it.
Yep.
We're okay now.
There you go. You are armed with meta knowledge.
We got this. All right.
All right. Well, that
I mean, do we see spiders?
I don't know. Do you roll the perception check?
rolling
Rolling.
16.
12.
16, 12.
I have dark vision if it helps.
Not me.
Torin's gonna snap out of his
19.
what in the hell's going on and grab his weapons.
I've got 11, but I'm going to light my hooded lantern.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just light that up with using prestidigitation, and use my mage hand to hold it up to look around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not directly on me, so that if they're looking for light, they don't immediately collapse on the squishy.
Okay. No, you don't see. With the collective perception checks and now the light source, and with your dark vision, Corrallos, you don't see anything immediately. Nothing catches your eye. It just looks like caverns at this point. It just looks like your subterranean realm of some kind, caverns. You hear the dripping of water off of the stalactites. Those are the ones that are coming from the top. But no movement. Nothing that appears to be moving around you guys. But you still hear the disembodied voice. I am here as a guide, and I can help a certain amount of times. Cannot directly. You guys are going to have to defend and fight for yourselves.
Okay.
And you feel, and you can't see her, but you hear the voice change again. And I gotta say that you two are so cute. Oh my gosh. Like, I think you two are amazing. And I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Owen just chuckles at that.
Okay.
It feels almost like, Nat, it almost feels like conversations that you did have with Isla, but years ago. Like teenage Isla. And what you guys are picking up is that Aphrodite's essence, her avatar, is ever changing. And it's never the same entity twice. It's always different. There's a different face to it. And it's of the deities that you've ran into, Persephone seemed the same. Hades pretty much was consistent. Taruk knows Zeus was pretty much consistent the whole time. Of all the deities that you guys have come across, their avatars, their demeanors are pretty constant. Aphrodite is erratic. It is not the same. It's almost as if her domain is a little more vast and a little unpredictable.
Don't know if I like that. Excuse me. For starters, could I cast like a pass without trace? To at least
Certainly.
get us-
You certainly can.
Alrighty.
For the party and anybody listening, what does that do?
Well, it casts a veil of shadows and silence radiates from us to keep all of us safe from detection for up to an hour. Each creature we choose within 30 feet has a plus 10 bonus to dexterity or stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means.
Go. So your stealth checks have plus 10 to them.
Sheesh.
A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage. So that meant if we had an animal or something with us, or it would not leave any tracks.
Numerous.
Yeah.
Thorin, do you wear heavy armor? Alright,
I'm
then I'll
aware.
Use, I need to know for me, because if we are going to make a stealth check, I will use my bonus action to give you a help action.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
While
Yes,
I'm using my
I'm-
action to hold up my lantern.
I am in plate mail.
Alright, we're gonna do a stealth roll.
Are you? Are you stealthing? Come on, like I said, you guys acting like you've never played D&D before. What are you doing?
We're all
I
kind of in
never-
shock right now.
I
Okay.
don't. Okay, that's
We just died.
completely inverse to how I do it. So that's all. I'm just confused.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll make a perception. I'll make a stealth check, and then I'll make another perception check to try to get a feel for the surroundings. Because at this point, now that we can see a little bit, I wanted to tell what kind of rock or material we're on, and whether or not there's a place where we can climb up or be able to move around, or if there's a ceiling. Because if there's a ceiling, then they might just be above us. So
Well, all right. You too much at once. Perception check first.
Okay, so perception check. So I got 19 on the die, plus 4, so 23.
Okay.
And then stealth, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a plus 10. So my stealth roll is going to be cool. 37.
Well, okay. So Owen vanishes before your very eyes. Just into nothingness, and he exists on another realm.
I'm so lonely.
With a perception check of 23, you don't notice anything immediately. It takes you a little bit of time. You do. There are a couple rocks and a couple platforms for you to kind of climb up on and stealthily, without being detected, to actually get a look around. The problem, the realm that you're in is not well lit. You can only see out to a certain point. You perceiving around you and even looking above you, you don't see anything on the ceilings.
Okay. This is very
What you
stressful.
do notice, spider webs in the in between some of the stalactites overhead. Not all of them, but some of them do. Roughly gauging, you're looking at hundreds of feet in the air. But with that kind of perception, you can see that between some of the stalactites that are hanging down, there are spider webs that are in between some of them.
My arachnophobia is kicking in real good right now.
And Nat, you are reminded of visions that you had before of demonic-like spiders that were on the way to Regus.
Oh,
And some of the visions that you were given a long time ago.
oh boy.
Well, there's spider webs up there. So I take it we shouldn't travel on the ceiling. Keep your eyes out. Spiders are notoriously good at hiding and ambushing and sucking the life out of everything because they're nightmares made manifest by gods that hate us.
Well, yay
For
for that
once, I
pleasant
agree with
imagery.
you, Owen. 100%.
Yeah,
you see,
thanks
is
for
this Hector very slowly drew his brand new blade that he found, just looking up.
So I say we get
Let's
the
go.
ever living hell out of here and try to find this damn cat.
So
Let's go.
I'll try to help Torin if he wants to try to stealth. But that's about all I can do with what I've got without burning through my resources.
Okay, guys. If you would, then let's roll some stealth checks for the party.
All right. Don't forget, y'all. You got 10.
That is a plus 10 to everyone's.
Am I re-rolling or is my previous roll standing?
Yeah, that can stand for you.
Okay, appreciate it.
So if you're helping me, I just roll
You have
straight.
advantage. Yeah, so it's straight.
Okay.
Let's
Ooh, I like that.
Asphalt Trace is so good.
Yes,
It's
it is.
so good.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
All right. Oh, stupid connection. I rolled
Yes.
I rolled 15 for my stealth.
15.
Yeah,
Right
my
on.
internet connection was just kind of off and on, so I didn't know if
That's after the plus 10.
that's after plus 10. I had a roll disadvantage.
Why did you roll a disadvantage? Just out of curiosity.
Because I have hang on. It explained it to me. Oh, disadvantage because of armor.
Your
He's
armor.
wearing heavy armor.
What are you wearing? You should be on leathers.
You should be fine. I'm
For
the
some
one at
reason, it has me
disadvantage.
You know, for some reason, it has me on scale mail for some straight.
I've never given you scale mail.
Mm-mm.
So I can't figure that crap out either. So yeah, for some reason. What the
Last
hell?
thing I gave you was studded leather.
I do have that, but for some reason, D&D Beyond has me in a scale, which is having me roll at a disadvantage.
Yeah, no, you don't have scale mail on. You have studded leather
didn't.
on.
See, I didn't think so. So,
Yeah, go ahead and re-equip that.
all right, I'm on it.
Hold on. 24.
24.
And this
I'm just gonna do that no matter what you guys roll.
the stealthiest Torin will ever be.
At 27.
27.
Woo! All right. My armor is now re-equipped because for some reason this.
There you go. Now go ahead and roll that stealth one more time.
Oh, you are a good DM.
Don't say that too loud.
22.
Somebody might believe you. 22. All right. Oh, I forgot someone.
Gunther.
22 is 2.
That's Cact.
Okay.
Oh, look at him. At disadvantage, 21. Not bad. Not bad. So
That's
even
respectable.
Hector found a way to be quiet
Yay!
as you guys make your way through this unknown cavern that you're in. Nothing
His
but
bones aren't rattling; they're being silenced by all that flesh around him. He's a much stealthier guy.
As we're trying not, we're
Imagine
just
that.
trying not to die.
With your perception check, Owen, I'll say that you do, out of the corner of your eye, catch movement sometimes overhead, but when your head turns to catch it, it's gone. You see movement in some of the webs above you.
This is like 120. This is like 200 feet up, right?
Some of them are, yes. Some of them
Okay.
reach down a little further, but yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to paint a visual here for you. Basically the stalactites reach down for many hundred feet, and
Mhm.
there are sporadic webs hanging among some of them.
I'm gonna message Corrales. Hey, Corrales, do you happen to know how to cast Firebolt?
You've read my mind, Owen.
If I throw something, do you think you could hit it at a range?
I will try my best.
Actually, Torin, I'm doing all this with message because I don't want to make any noise. Torin, if you'd be so kind, I would like to hand you, if you could throw this as hard as you can directly up, a little off to the side, perhaps, and let Corellos firebolt it. Maybe we can get a bit of a clear view of the room and maybe pick out a way for us to try to make our escape. What I'm planning on doing is putting my ball bearings into one of my bottles of oil.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to have Torin yeet that as high as he can.
That's
in
exactly
Corrales'
the word in my
firebolt,
mind.
So that it's basically the fire will make it, will explode. But what I'm going to do is when I do that, I'm going to prestidigitation the ball bearings so that they're super shiny, so that they
Mhm.
reflect the light, so that it's basically like a really rudimentary flashbang.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the balls go everywhere, that audio should disorient them if they're trying to listen for us. And if there's extensive webbing, it should begin to immolate it, which would give us light and at least give us some aid in trying to get out of the terrifying spider coffin that you started us in.
You can certainly try all of that.
I hate that.
Oy.
Is this what I do to people?
Yes.
I deserve this.
And so he oh,
He
if it
can
isn't
be
the
taught.
if it isn't the consequences of our actions. Oh, dang.
Consequence. My
All right. Well,
actions.
I guess we should start with a strength throw so Torin can yeet this thing.
Yeah, give me a d20 plus your strength modifier.
Okay. So, strength. That is 15.
15, not bad. The next part of the plan?
Alright, I'm going to action, prestidigitation, bonus action, help action Corrales so that he can make his attack roll with advantage to try to hit this bottle that Torin is going to launch.
Mm-hmm.
So Corrales, it's on you.
All
All
right.
right.
Come on.
It's a nat 20.
Nice.
man.
On the
Yes,
advantage
all
roll.
right.
Nice.
Oh my
Roll your damage.
I haven't done this in a while. What is Firebolt?
Firebolt is 1d10. Oh, no,
So
no, it'd be 2d10 at this
So
level.
2d10 for no. 2d10 on a crit. 4d10.
Alright. Oh man.
Or just firebomb all the spiders and kill them all. That works for me too. Like, I'm not upset.
No.
It's like the viral hit, and then it's like pew, 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 pew. Like that was like the least important part of it.
Yeah.
Like
That was,
Alright,
that,
I have-
that was
I have a table question now because I do 2 beams because I can cast it at. I'm over 5th level, right?
yeah.
So I get 2. So is this 8d10?
No, it
Firebolt
doesn't
is a
work that way.
Firebolt's
It's a single.
Huh?
Eldritch
It-
Blast gives you 2 rays. Firebolt gives you 1, but it doubles the
Yeah.
damage that it does.
You're just doubling the damage, not the raise.
Eldritch Blast is the weird one. It's the only one that does that. Everything else just incrementally stacks damage
Yep.
dice as you level up.
Yeah, you can't split the ray for
So it's 20,
Firebolt.
24.
24. Okay.
That's respectable as hell.
It
That's
is.
a fireball worth of
Nice.
damage. I've seen fireballs do less than that.
Yeah. So Firebolt hits this thing and add. I'll be nice. 2d6 for the shrapnel, the ball bearings.
Am I rolling that, or do you?
Yeah,
want-
yeah. We'll just do it for the overall damage, and then I'll tell you the effects.
So it would be 32 total.
Okay.
Nice.
Very good.
Very nice.
So Torin,
Hi-ya!
elf action, Corrallos, Firebolt. Basically a
Like a 4th of July mortar.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like basically like a fireworks that you guys see at some of the festivals. This thing goes off, and the fire damage hits some of the webbing overhead. The ball bearings shoot off in many directions. I'm gonna say for that. Well, looky there. No, that's fair. And what was the total on that damage?
Mine was 32.
32. I'm doing some math.
Yay, math.
As you hear above you, cannot see where it comes from, but a loud, high-pitched sound.
Nope.
A what sound?
You heard me.
Nope.
I
As
know.
something appeared to be damaged by either the fire or the ball bearings, and you see is in that area where you set off this little firework, some of the webbing up there is burning away. You have yourself a window if you're trying to run.
Yeah, I
Run?
don't want to use spell
Yep.
slot, but I will. I am ready to dash.
Run
I can-
or
I
run
can
it.
bonus action dash. Everyone, keep up.
I would love to pick up Corrales and be like, time to go, buddy!
That's fine with me.
Just
Yeah, even Taru's kind of like, yeah, look, go now, away from
Yep.
here.
I can't move too far from Hector. Damn it. All right, yeah, I'll just keep pace with
Every-
Hector.
Chunk, 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 chunk. Chainmail for him. Actually, no, he's not, because he couldn't afford it.
Nope. His
He's in studded leather.
Oh.
He couldn't afford it. I forgot. So no, he's not. He's
Nice.
keeping up fine.
Deal?
I love it.
You guys make your way through a crevice in some of the openings around these rock formations, and I'm keeping Joe your roll from earlier as your perception as you're going, making sure that you avoid anything of like pitfalls or anything. You guys are avoiding some of the danger, and you appear to be at least damaged and or confused whatever was in the webs above you for the moment.
Good deal.
Since you specifically were leading the way on this,
Mm-hmm.
Owen, I need you to make a survival check.
Roger, Roger. Come on, do me good.
Let's pray you don't Roger, last Roger.
This is 17 plus
Not bad.
1 is 18, so it's 18 survival.
Good one.
Okay. What you come to is the edge of a cliff. And you pull one of those straight out of a movie where you kind of put on the brakes and go, whoa, and stop everybody.
Oh, crap.
You have found the edge of a cliff. But instead of there being a direct drop down and emptiness and nothing of an abyss, there is, but there's something covering it.
Oh, don't say it.
Roughly
No.
Don't say it.
roughly about 1,000 yards.
Oh, God.
There's in all directions. It's a web.
Well,
You have found yourself at a very huge gaping maw of a cavern.
Just a,
No other way to say it. There's
just
this
a
huge
big old hole
cavernous-
covered in a giant spider web. That's what it
Can
is.
I
a-
trade my soul and cast Ultima? Is that something I can do?
this
Can I perhaps
huge
summon me?
cavernous, this chasm. That's the word I was looking for. This huge chasm. But over top of it, almost like a safety net at a circus, a trampoline, but it's spiderweb.
okay. Well, if we're gonna get out of here, there's no other cliffs around us. Like, we can't like make a
No,
jump. It's just
you've hit the edge of the map here,
got it.
ladies and gentlemen. This is
So it's either back that way or...
We're not going
Or
back
else
that
we're-
way.
Or else we're
No,
spider bait.
no, I'm saying... Really forwards are only option.
Okay. So we're on a cliff face. Do we see another side?
yes.
How far is it?
Well, I said 1,000 yards.
I mean, if it's a click away, it's a click away. I just want to know if we have a literal kilometer of spider web between us and the other side, or
That's pretty much what I'm telling you. Yes.
okay.
Okay, so there goes my plan.
The trick with a lot of this is going to be you can't go back.
Definitely can't do
At the
that.
Spider Doom room, no.
Here we are.
Well, guys, looks like our only way to go. We're going down.
Alright. Here's my plan. I say we be it's gonna sound stupid, as stealthy as we can going across. Try to get to the other side. And hope, gotta hope, that there ain't much connected to this web. And once we get to the other side, Corrallos nuke this damn thing so that nothing can follow us.
Can we reach the web from where we are? Or do we have to, like, fall down some significant distance?
Significant distance being about 15 feet.
Okay. So, can I tug on it with a mage hand to see if it's tense?
Yes, you can.
All right. Does it seem like it's pulling away from the wall, like the tension is moving towards the center point?
You use mage hand to pluck just one stream, or are you just trying to get like to see?
I want to. So I guess what I would do in order is I would pick, depending on how wide apart they are. I'm assuming they're going to be about 6 inches to a foot, a square gap between the web.
Mm-hmm.
So I would pick 1, 3, and 5.
Sure.
Okay, and I would kind of tug to see whether they converge or diverge, or if they're parallel.
Okay. First thing you notice, there's some strength in these webs.
Okay.
You pluck the first one. There's it can withstand some weight. These webs are definitely made for holding large creatures that are, large prey, and they have to be sturdy and strong enough to hold something.
Okay.
What you notice when you pluck the next two, boom, boom, see the vibrations in this huge web as it trickles, almost like somebody throwing a rock in a pool. You see, and you see as the webs that seemingly didn't look like they were connected, that kind of go up into some of the stalactites above you, they start to vibrate as well.
Do you have a surplus of arrows?
I have enough.
Torin.
Yes?
Karalos, do you have thaumaturgy?
I do.
Whatever patrons you have, bless you. Got to get Hector out of here. Torin.
Yes?
I need you to trust me on something.
Oh, God.
Right?
Okay.
You seem like a sturdy sort.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give you a rope. I'm going to tie it to you. And I need you to tie it to Lord Hector. And I need you to keep it taut between you.
Okay.
I will bait forward. And I will use minor illusion, and I will use my mage hand to pluck threads. Karalos, I need you to use thaumaturgy to shake the web as if it was an earthquake. And Nat, Atil, I need you to fire arrows. Pick a direction that moves away from the way we are going. And fire arrows and try to hit the web far enough away where it doesn't tear. Like at the max range you can, just to try to distract something.
Okay.
And so you guys keep that rope. So if something happens, either of you can grab onto somebody if something were to happen. I can pop up real quick if something happens to me. I'll be okay. But that will guarantee that Hector gets out of here, and that will keep all of you alive. But Karalos, that thaumaturgy would be the most disruptive thing, because anything trying to listen to the webs, any spider that hunts by feeling the vibrations, will be completely and utterly flabbergasted by the insanity that it'll be hearing. And I'll use my minor illusion to create like a high-pitched screaming sound along the web as he's doing that. Yes.
Okay.
Do I do this here where we're moving, or
Stay with Torin and Lord Hector. Stay with Torin and Hector.
do I make the web shake under us, or
As far away from us as you can. So basically, on the other side, if she's shooting off to the right, you do it on the left. Anything that's listening is going to only see hear big shadows of us as we move. It's like putting figurines in front of a torch or a lantern. It splashes a big shadow because it's close to the origin. If it's listening, it should function in the same way. I've seen orb weavers and similar spiders, venomous ones that hunt by hearing things in their webs. They oftentimes get very confused if something large brushes into it and tears it and attacks it. I don't know any other way. I do not want to be here in the Spiderland. It is very disconcerting to me. I'm getting very upset. I apologize.
It's understandable. I like the plan. Let's go with it. I'll take it whenever you guys are ready. I'm locked and loaded.
Okay. One at a time. Corrallos. Thaumaturgy. Nat. Roll. How many arrows do you want to shoot?
10.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
Okay. Anything special with this D20?
I'm deciding. Make it a regular attack roll.
Okay.
Because I don't want to make you do it 10 times.
That's fair.
17.
17. Okay.
Hold on,
Roll.
hold on. You're breaking up on my end, my friend.
Well, you made the one attack roll. You got a 17, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Roll me a d10.
Okay. Five.
Okay. Let your arrows go. Owen, what were you adding to this?
I was going to be using Minor Illusion to increase the distortion.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I was going to take point. I was going to use Minor Illusion to create a high-pitched, oscillating sound
Mm-hmm.
in an attempt to confuse anything listening to the web and
Mhm.
further disguise our motions. And then keep an eye out so if anything were to happen, I can act as bait.
Okay. Owen, I want you to roll me, just for you,
Okay.
a survival check, but this one's at disadvantage.
Okay. Let me clear this. Disadvantage, I get a 4 and a 17, so that's a 5 survival.
Or 5 survival.
5 total.
Okay. So you guys start to make your way across the web. It's a short drop down. When you land, you're actually kind of surprised at the strength and the strands and the threads of the web. You're kind of sitting here, kind of even the basic math in your head going, these are strong enough for whatever these things hunt. These webs would be strong enough to hold. You guys start to make your way across the web. Good 15, 20 minutes pass and nothing happens. Nat.
Yeah.
Roll me perception.
All right. 24.
Nice. Nat, you tell everybody to stop moving for a second. And then you feel it again. The strand on the web that you guys are traversing across, you feel boom. And the strands and the web around you guys vibrate. Almost as if the ripple that you guys sent out came back. Now, because you rolled so well, roll me a survival check straight.
All right.
Can I give her a help action? She's within 30 feet of me.
You've got your own problems. So no, not on this one.
14.
14. Nat.
14.
Yeah, Nat, 14.
Okay.
The weird thing is that you don't notice any movement along the web where you guys are. You don't see anything. And you're looking and you're looking and you're like, we're missing something. And then your eyes cast above you.
Oh, ball.
And you see an 8-legged entity that is slowly spinning down on a thread. Very slowly spinning down, quietly, silently. No noise. And that bothers you in its own right. But in the back of your head, you go, wait a second, but what was the... And right when the thought hits you, Owen, as you're leading the way, you feel the threads of the web that you're currently standing on tighten a little bit.
Mm.
And you realize that there's almost a shadow following you on the web.
Of course.
And you look up and there's nothing. And the math doesn't add up. You're like, wait a second, then what's casting the shadow?
It's underneath me. I'm seeing through the web.
You're seeing through the web. And the spider is on the underside of the web.
Do I have time to react as I notice this?
We'll find out next week.
Ah! There it is. The first cliffhanger of 2022.
This, I'm sending it to you guys. That is what you see.
I don't know if I want to know.
That's what Nat sees.
Oh, that's horrifying.
It looks like it's wearing a t-shirt, and that makes it so much worse.
No! Burn it! Burn!
We can't burn it, or we'll all fall.
So
Okay, let's escape
next week,
So
we will
next week.
pick back up in Tartarus on this pseudo plane that you're on, the tabletop for Aphrodite and Hades, and we'll see what happens as you guys face these horrible demonic looking spiders. And
so pleasant.
Try not to die.
yeah, so we'll see what happens next week, guys. That's where we're gonna leave off for now.
Oh my god. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for joining us here at Dice Hard with a Vengeance. Oh my. I should have expected more because we were going to the underworld. But I wasn't ready for it. 'Twas not. So these next couple weeks are going to be very intense and very nerve-wracking. So we appreciate you guys being entertained by our pure fear. But as always, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tap the little bell on your YouTube app so you never miss an upload. And as always, buy the shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/LostBoyKirby. We have a new Curbside Podcast t-shirt and a new Dice Hard with a Vengeance official t-shirt. Get those now before it's too late. Thank you all, and we'll see you guys next week.